I've been putting this off. Well, I haven't been putting it off. I've been enjoying doing my Wild West terrain. But my giant that was given to me by Trent from Miscast quite some time ago when he came to visit the Knights of Dice studio, had sculpted this giant predominantly out of something called Need It. It's a two-part putty. It stinks to all hell. It sets up really, really quickly, goes rock hard, can be sculpted, drilled, it can be sculpted, but carved and chiseled and drilled, and then made a mold of this model. Now, I don't know if Trent's ever done anything with this, but he left this one with me. And when I finally got access to my painting cupboard, I found it in there. Now, I've done some modifications to this model. He had a bit of a goofy looking face, and I thought, look, it needs to be a little bit more chaos. Not that I'm a chaos person, I'm in a completely different realm than a lot of these really talented artists that you see all over YouTube who specialize in, the grim darkness and chaos and all that sort of stuff. But I knew that it needed some modification. So I spent a little bit of time doing some modifications on the head. We may have seen some of that in earlier vlogs, but anyway, it's time to get this painted. Now, I'm not a fantastic painter, and I really don't have any idea on how I want to paint this, but I did see one clip of something Trent was painting. I can't quite remember what it was. Then it had sort of like I don't have them, but it had like a pink sort of purplish metallic spray from, underneath the miniature. And then I think he had like this really vibrant, again, metallic sort of green, which sort of came down from the top. I'm not a miniature painter, not an artistic painter, but I'm going to throw some colors at this model, and then we'll pick out some details and do a base and call it done. I don't know, we'll see how we go, but the first step is throw a bit of pink on this guy. Change of colours. A not so bright green and this ridiculous orange. I'm really out of my depth with this model. It's just so completely different than everything I'm used to painting that I don't really know what to do. And the fact that, I based the painting of something that I'd seen Trent do, which I really liked. It looked so nice. But that's his style, and I've seen him at the studio take weird, to me, looking paint jobs, and by the end of it, they look absolutely phenomenal. And he just throws paint and detail and texture and stuff at his models. And to my eyes, as someone who's so traditionally used to painting just humans and stuff, it just seems so alien. But in his hands, it becomes a masterpiece. Now, this masterpiece of Trent's work, I don't know how to work with it. I don't know what I'm doing. I've picked out a whole bunch of the parts that I think are going to be either woods or metals or some sort of stone or skin, like not the giant skin, but skin that he's used on the shield. I don't know. I think it's just going to slowly evolve in front of me. I don't know. I just need to keep working at it, but I think it's going to take me a couple of days to really figure it out. And some of the MTN paints on this model are getting to the point now where they're becoming slightly hydrophobic. They're graffiti paints, and they do take acrylics over the top of them reasonably well, but after they cure, certainly once they've cured, in my experience, for a while, they become slightly hydrophobic. So I'm at the point where I need to let this model dry, and then I'll give it a matte coat, properly dry, the graffiti paints dry for 2 days or so. Then I'll give it a matte varnish, and then I can keep working on it. But I really feel like I'm out of my depth with this model. I am out of my depth, but I'm absolutely loving it. I'm sure the more I work on it, the more it will just reveal itself to me. I mean, I can already see things that I want to do, like there's scars on the back of this model, which I know I want to pick out, throw a bit more purples in there, and I don't know. We'll just see what happens. But at the moment, I'm not afraid to say I'm feeling slightly overwhelmed. I just don't know what to do with it. I guess we just keep working on it, and eventually it'll tell me what it wants to become.